Hey guys, it's Kathleen and today I'm going to be bringing you my August TBR. I can't believe how fast time has flown. I don't know what happened in July, but it's basically gone now. By the time you're watching this, actually, it is gone now. I'm just filming this on the last day of July, but I think it's going to be August 4th when this goes up. But these are the books I'm hoping to get to. I once again have a super ambitious TBR. Some of them I actually do need to get to before school starts when I just don't have time to read them, and I really want to get to them before the end of the month. So we're going to see if that works out, but without further ado, here are all the books I want to read this August. So the first book on my TBR for this month is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This I wanted to finish before Booktubeathon started, but I really just didn't get the chance. It's quite long. It's over 600 pages. Oh, this is the third book in the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I'm loving it so far. I've finished about 100 pages of this, so I'm hoping I like the rest. It's shaping up to be a really, really great conclusion to the series, and I think it's going to be. I didn't like the second one as much as I liked the first one, but I think I'm going to like this one a lot more, so I'm really excited to finish it. Next book I want to get to is Under Rose-Tinted Skies by Louise Gornell. I've read about 30 pages of this and I'm really liking it so far. It's about a girl who also has agoraphobia, which I mentioned about highly logical behavior in my last wrap up. So this is another one that's like that, but she just deals with an anxiety disorder and she cannot leave her house, which is really interesting. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's definitely going to be romance heavy, I can tell, but I think I'm going to like it. I also meant to get to this for my Booktubeathon TBR, but it just never happened. Again, I read 30 pages and then gave up because I was working so much, but I am excited to continue with it this month. Next here we have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Again, this was on my Booktubeathon TBR. I meant to get to it. I didn't get to it. I read the first 4 pages. I want to finish it now. It's one of those books that's really sat on my TBR for a long time, and I just never would have gotten to it at all if I hadn't put it on my Booktubeathon one. So I'm actually glad I did, even though I didn't finish it. So I am hoping I'll get to that this month. It's kind of longish, and it's a historical fiction book, so it's not really my usual genre, but I do want to get to it. It seems really neat, so I'm looking forward to reading it. The next 2 books I was sent as ARCs from Indigo, so thank you so much to them for sending them to me. Then the first one is Saints and Misfits by SKLE. I've meant to get to this for a long while. I've just had so many books on my TBR, but I really don't know much about this. I know it's about a Muslim girl, which is really exciting. I know it's written by a Muslim author, so that's some really good own voices representation there, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to it for that reason. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I've never read anything by this author. I believe this is her debut, but I'm looking forward to reading it anyway, and I'll be sure to give you my thoughts when I do. And then we have my most anticipated release of 2017, and that's They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Since I read History Is All You Left Me, I've just been in love with Adam Silvera's writing. I've meant to get to More Happy Than Not for a while now. Hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it will. But anyway, I really do want to get to this before this month ends. It comes out in September, so I actually do want to do a full review on this book before it comes out. I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's basically about this world where everybody knows that they're going to die and what day they're going to die. But this thing they can do is that they can have this app. I forget what the app is called, but basically they can find someone they can connect with on their last day and they can become friends with this person and spend that day with them. So I think it sounds like such an interesting and unique concept, and I'm really, really looking forward to reading it. I love everything Adam Silvera does, so I hope this will not be a disappointment. So I totally lied and said I was going to read this book last month. I didn't. But that is Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. This is the 3rd book in the Lara Jean series, and it's basically just about Lara Jean going off to university, and she has to leave her boyfriend Peter behind potentially, and she doesn't really know what she's doing with her life. So it seems like it's going to be really cute, and I'm excited. Good read to end off the summer, I guess. I really like Jenny Han's writing, and also To All the Boys I've Loved Before is getting a movie, as was announced a couple of weeks ago, so that's super exciting. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. Next we have Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I read the first chapter of this, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I think I might have read a few chapters of this, and I wasn't that into it. I kind of gave up on it because it was a bit boring, but my friend is obsessed with this book, so she lent it to me, and I need to give it back to her at some point, so I'm going to read it and see what I think. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to like it or not. I remember thinking the first 2 chapters were weird, but everyone else seems to love this book, so I'm going to give it another chance. Also coming at you from last month's TBR, we have My Lady Jane by 3 different authors, and I'm not going to read all these out loud. But basically this is a YA historical hilarious retelling of the life of Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day queen. I believe she was queen for 9 days, who was then executed. So it seems like it's really, really funny. I've heard such good things about this book so far. Everyone says it's so hilarious, so I'm actually excited to read this. I think this is going to be a nice break from sort of more dramatic books, so I am actually very excited for this. I'm sorry, this is just the worst and most repetitive TBR in the world, but I do want to finish Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix because I started it last month and I got to about page 500 and I just haven't picked it back up since, so I really want to finish this book. I love Harry Potter, obviously, so I want to finish my reread of this just because when I start something I want to finish it. I'm just one of those people, so I'm hoping I can get to finish it this month. And then next this month, I'm planning to read a completely random one, but this is The Washingtons Go to Birmingham 1963 by Christopher Paul Curtis. This has been sitting on my shelf for years now. I've just never gotten to it for some reason. I didn't know what it was about for a long time, and I almost threw it away, I believe. But I kind of want to read it now. It takes place in 1963, and it's about this family that goes on a road trip. And I believe it has a lot to do with racism in a very dark time in Alabama history. So I'm looking forward to it. It seems like it's going to be a very interesting, educational, and eye-opening read. So I hope that I turn out to like it in the end. And then next, I want to read Released by Patrick Ness, also on my July TBR. I'm really sorry, I'm the worst. But basically, this is a book about a boy named Adam who is gay, and he's having a dinner, I believe, with his boyfriend, and his pastor dad's going to be there or something like that. And it's also interwoven with chapters of this dark, mysterious thing happening in his town. And it's based off Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway and Ginny Bloom's Forever, just because I think it takes place in one day. That's kind of the idea. I think it sounds like a really neat read, very literary for a YA novel, so I'm curious where Patrick Ness is going with this. And then finally, I'm just going to throw a random classic onto this list. This is 1984 by George Orwell, which I've meant to read for the longest time, and it's so relevant now, so I'm gonna read this book. I don't think I really need to tell you the plotline because most of you probably already know, but you know, it's classic. I should read it. That's pretty much it. So those were all the books that I'm hoping to read in the month of August. This may change, especially based on what kind of videos I hope I'm doing this month, but as of now, that is my reading list for this month. We will see if I hold to that. We'll see if I finish. Was that 11 or 12 books? I don't know. It was a lot of books, so we're going to see if I actually finish all of them. I'm hoping I will. Either way, let me know what you guys are reading this month. Let me know if you guys read any of the same books or if you've read any of these and can tell me a bit about them. I'd love to know. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, the links will all be in the description. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe on your way out. But in the meantime, I will see you guys next time. Bye!